New black girl bullied at school. They didn't know she was a championship-level fighter. Her screams still echo in my mind, sharp and desperate, as if the world itself cracked open that day. Aisha, the new black girl, stood alone in the school courtyard, her braids glinting under the harsh noon sun, while vultures and sneakers circled her with venomous words. It started with whispers in the halls of Lincoln High, a school where cliques ruled and differences were a crime. Aisha transferred in mid-semester, her family fleeing a city that chewed up dreams. She was quiet, her eyes carrying stories no one bothered to read. By week 2, the taunts began. "Go back to where you came from," they sneered, led by Jinnah, a queen bee with a smile like a blade. Aisha's skin, her accent, her very existence seemed to offend them. They didn't know she was forged in fire. The courtyard was their battlefield. That day, Jinnah and her pack cornered Aisha near the old oak, their laughter slicing through the air. "You don't belong here," Jinnah spat, her posse nodding like trained dogs. Aisha's backpack hit the dirt, papers scattering. A crowd gathered, phones out, hungry for drama. I stood at the edge, heart pounding, too scared to move. Aisha's eyes locked on Jinnah, not with fear, but with something fire Sarah solve. "You think you're tough?" Jinnah shoved Aisha, hard. The crowd gasped, a collective inhale. Aisha stumbled, but didn't fall. Her fists clenched, and I saw it shift. Like a storm gathering, her body straightened, her gaze sharpened. They didn't know she'd spent years in a boxing gym, her gloves pounding bags until her knuckles bled. They didn't know she was a junior champion, undefeated in her weight class. Jinnah swung again, but Aisha moved like water, dodging with a grace that silenced the crowd. "Enough," Aisha said, her voice low but steady, cutting through the noise. Jinnah laughed, mistaking it for weakness, and lunged. In a blur, Aisha sidestepped, her fist snapping out, not to strike, but to warn. The air changed. Jinnah froze, her bravado crumbling. The crowd's murmurs died. They saw it now. The predator wasn't who they thought. "You don't know me," Aisha said, stepping forward. Her words weren't loud, but they carried the weight of someone who'd fought battles bigger than this courtyard. "You don't get to decide who I am." Her eyes swept the crowd, daring anyone to move. No one did. On a nearby bench, someone had pinned a note, scrawled in bold marker. "She fights back. Hard." It fluttered in the breeze, a quiet testament to the truth. Jinnah backed off, her face pale. The crowd dispersed, some ashamed, others awestruck. Aisha picked up her backpack, her hands steady, and walked away. But the story didn't end there. Word spread like wildfire. The new girl wasn't just a survivor. She was a warrior. The taunts faded, replaced by uneasy respect. Aisha didn't flaunt her strength, but it was there, undeniable, like a flame that didn't need to roar to burn. Days later, I found her in the gym, shadowboxing under flickering lights. I apologized for standing by, for not stepping in. She smiled, not bitter, but wise. "It's not about fighting with fists," she said, her gloves tapping the bag. "It's about standing up, even when they want you to break." Her words hit harder than any punch. I realized then that Aisha wasn't just fighting bullies. She was fighting a world that tried to define her by her skin, her roots, her differences. Weeks passed, and Aisha changed Lincoln High. She joined the boxing club, trained kids who'd never thrown a punch, and shared her story not of victories in the ring, but of the battles she faced daily. Some apologized, others stayed silent, but the air shifted. The school wasn't perfect, but it was better. Aisha's courage forced us to see her, not as the new black girl, but as a person, fierce and human. The courtyard never looked the same. That note stayed pinned to the bench, a reminder of the day prejudice met its match. Aisha taught us that strength isn't just in winning fights, it's in standing tall when the world wants you small. Her story wasn't about revenge. It was about resilience, about claiming space in a world that tries to erase you. And in that, she was unbeatable. Thank you for listening. If you find it interesting, please like and subscribe to follow the next stories.